the other way. Hey. Oh, wow. Well, he gone. He gone.
The Syndicate doesn't have the pull to organize something on this scale. I don't think they're just targeting us. Then who called them in? Worry about that later. Right now, I'm a bit busy. I always win my arguments. Don't get cocky.
You know, the gun she's controlling is... What? What a fucking good game! I don't know how she got airborne right there, but okay. She just ended up airborne again.
Hey, what about fire? All bulletproof monsters hate fire.
I love it. God, that is so easy. I just about got to the next cutscene before it triggered that one.
Works, you need to see one from the inside.
Yo, did I skip this trigger that way? What the fuck? Hmm. What? This is bullshit. That's not the correct game. I've been doing that a lot more lately. Whoops. Anyways, hello. Okay. That's just weird balancing. Right, so, anyway, traces of the raging blaze. With the spear. Oh man. My favorite. Actually, like, genuinely I'm getting more and more to the point to where I really just don't mind the spear that much. I was curious though. I don't remember how much it costs to cast Ancient Mortender. 7? I mean, 7 is rough. You know, this example where we see Ancient Nioh Tengu attack 3 separate enemies, I've literally never seen that. I've literally never seen that happen. Anyway. Before we get started, Seto burning. We got weapons of exotic or better. Oh, we got deliveries. Alright, 526. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get straight to this shit. Yeah, I input that swing and it just didn't do it. Not really sure why. We're only gonna do these long enough to keep my Ochoko cups at their maximum. Too early. Ah, come on. Excuse me? That was completely wrong. That was completely 100% incorrect. I'm offended. That shouldn't have happened at all. Why is my parry not parrying? Also, why did that hit twice? Bruh. Oh yeah, let's just super armor, that's fine. Yeah, never mind. Never mind all of that. Odachi, easy shit. Level 506, probably a Scroll of the Wise if I was gonna guess. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's funny that I guessed that. Like, my full guess, that was somebody who only recently got access to Dream of the Nioh. And one of their earliest decisions was, I'm gonna jump straight into this Twilight mission. And then they immediately got clowned on. Which is fair. I've done something similar. I think it was when I got Dream of the Strong, I immediately jumped into a Twilight mission for the very first stage, because I thought, yeah, it's not going to be that big of a deal. That's good. Nice, subtle fuck up. So I've got the cumulative damage anima bonus, which in game describes it as it resets if you touch a shrine or take damage. Or take damage. It just says take damage. Descriptions online suggest that if you block, it also resets it. You know what? I'm curious. Yeah, that... Oh my god. So that definitely counted for that as well. That definitely 100% means that anima bonus ranged attack is completely worthless. Because, like, this is literally that and more. Have a bird. And you know what? That's another question that I have about this whole thing is like when it says take damage, what about like when that happens? Like I got burned, but I didn't get hit though. Like what about fall damage? If I cuz like I typically just ignore fall damage unless it's super a bunch. Like typically, like I'll drop, be like, I'll only take 1,000 damage or so, and Ultimate Con will, prevent me from needing to even think about it really. But if that counts, I guess I don't know. I don't think I really need to worry about it all that much, because, like, the anima bonuses that I'm used to are, like, supposedly, like, the anima bonus that I've been using this whole time, right? Like, anima bonus purified enemy is any damage done to an enemy that is currently purified, it gives you a bonus of anima on hits done to that enemy. Supposedly, that's only about 18%, and the bonuses on... The bonuses on this are more in the up to 100% range. So, like, my thought process on it really is just, like, it's just always beneficial no matter what. And, like, sure, it could be higher, but does it need to be? I kind of feel like, because, like, my style of fighting, especially when I'm using something like this, right, is to just charge in and constantly take chip damage here and there and, like, just keep the pressure going, keep the pressure going, keep the pressure going. Never, ever, ever stop with the pressure. Just keep the fucking shit going forever. I meant to do that a little bit later. Wait, was there like a defense debuff on that just now? Or did he do a defense buff and I just misread it? I will say one spirit core that had a, I think it was a defense buff on Anima game, or not Anima, Emerita game, or Emerita absorption specifically, seeing as how there's an Emerita gauge in it. Anyways, I recall that actually being far more impressive than it should be. Like, something up to like a 7% damage reduction. The downside of that is, like, let's be real, at its absolute best, Shootin' Doji's attack is okay. I don't honestly think that that's as much damage potential as just doing this. And yet here I am, like, instinctively doing that shit. I swung at it one more time because I wasn't sure it was actually going down. My brain was thinking, what if this is like the flying bolt? Where you have to hit it one more time for it to actually fall down. I kind of wonder if I just... Nah. Like, I was thinking, like, if I just spam that and she just does the 3 jabs quickly, if that would be ironically effective. And the answer appears to be no. No, that is not how it works. It's like that right there. I don't know if that resets my shit or not. Let's get it. 1, 2. What? Gotta love the double. Like with the spear, it's easy to whoopsie and try to go for the double too quickly. Wait, he stood up. What is this, snow and ice? Yeah. You know, I was thinking about rerouting all races for this because the timing method is different. I say that like I'm still like gonna be on the leaderboard or anything. I mean, I'm not gonna have anything to do with the leaderboard. I left speedrun.com for a reason. Well, several reasons. But before leaving, Ruby, Tupop, and I did decide that the timing method for this game would be changed to IGT. Because it's just a lot less shittier than bothering with all of the load removal. We hadn't discussed the possibility that that might mean that the PAL version would need to be banned. Oh man. What irony. And it's because the PAL version, like, literally plays slower, but I don't... Oh, you know what? No, I think the IGT actually counted up correctly, even though the gameplay was slower. So, anyways, doesn't matter. We had discussed that that was how we were gonna do it, and I haven't done any runs since. But I did reroute all GPs, which is the basic category, the main category for it. But I never did reroute all races. Yeah, what's up, Phoenix? How's it going? Have a bird. Good old bird. Here's to hoping that things have been in general better lately for you. You know, as much as can be hoped. Viv is looking for some job satisfaction here lately too. Dude, the place that she works at is fucking abysmal in the worst possible ways. What are they doing this time? Right, yeah, that makes sense. I'm aware of this concept because Viv had to do the same thing for her MSATs, which I do not know what the MSAT, like what that stands for. But yeah, go on. I mean, I don't know, I would look at that as being considerably less of an issue than the other things that you've dealt with. If at the end of the day you are going to get, like, through the process that you're going through right now, you are going to get the credit that you need in order to reach the thing that you want, I would see, like, I mean, and I know that, like, I've got the privilege of not being in this situation, but it sounds like at the very least you're still gonna get to where you're going. Well, let me guess, this is an apprenticeship that you specifically have to pay for, huh? No, yeah, I agree. Like, on the flip side, Viv had a situation with the Toyota MSAT in particular, where she's supposed to, like, when you take... So, like, the MSATs are basically manufacturer-specific courses. So there was one that she did specifically for Toyota, and at the end of those courses, you're supposed to be paired with a job where you work with that brand. And at Toyota, they mostly just had her driving cars and doing basic shit like oil changes, which is not Toyota specific and does not in any way, shape, or form fulfill the concept of giving her experience with Toyota vehicles. But, like, it counted, but at the same time, like, it counted for her MSAT, so she's technically certified. But, like, we're both well aware that, like, that didn't prepare her in the fucking slightest for having anything to do with Toyota vehicles. I mean, I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here. There's a possibility that the reason that they didn't bother, like, checking when you asked is because, in all likelihood, you're not the first person who asked. And that would mean that the person you asked probably has already checked on something like this before. Having said that, it's I can see why it would be hard to give them that grace when you've been fucked around so much that you really have no reason to give them any faith on the subject. I don't know if it's encouraging or discouraging, though, to know that it's fucked up all over. You know what I mean? Because shit's messed up here, but I thought things were going to be better in other countries. Like, we had thought that if we wanted to, say, immigrate to Germany, that the fact that she's already, like, certified on Mercedes-Benz and shit would definitely help. That was our thought process. No, yeah, I've always hated that concept, too. There are a few companies in the US that do practical exams rather than just looking at whether or not a sheet of paper says that you're capable of doing a certain thing. Which makes a hell of a lot more sense because, like, there are people that are really, really good in a classroom setting, in a study setting, and then are fucking garbage in an actual practical setting. So, I don't understand why more companies don't just do a practical assessment instead of giving a damn whether or not you're certified for a thing. It's like any jackass at this point in time knows that, like, if you take, like, let's say, for instance, that you decided to learn electrical engineering on your own, with your own means, on your own time, because you love it. And I went to classes because I wanted a career. You're going to know the material better than me because I only learned it to make money. You learned it out of love for the craft. So who's going to have papers and be certified? I will. But you're going to be better at it than I could ever hope to be. And anybody who's ever, like, learned a craft because they actually give a shit about the subject is going to know that that's how things are. Bro, like, in my family, there was this, I had an older cousin. Her name is Tony. She went to classes for, like, computer engineering and network security. I would rather take a rabid porcupine to the face repeatedly than ever allow this moron to touch my computer. She does not know shit. I know infinitely more about both of those subjects than she does. And it's because she learned them for work. I learned stuff about this because I care about this. Anyways, putting all that in perspective, yeah, a piece of paper usually doesn't mean anything. So I'm totally with you on that shit. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I never graduated high school, right? So I got to a point to where I wanted to do something where I theoretically needed a high school diploma or an equivalent, aka a GED, which is a general education diploma. A lot of people in this country look down on GEDs as though they're somehow less than a high school diploma. Hilarious. Anyways, when I was, like, I went through a program where, like, normally what you do for a GED is you have to pay, I think it's $70 where I went per course of study in order to take the GED. There's 5 courses of study in order to actually obtain it, so that's $350. I went through a program that was through a church, where basically if you go into their classes, teaching the GED material, and you show up regularly and are doing the things that you theoretically need to be doing, then they'll pay for it, which is honestly a really good deal. So I was doing these courses, and for an amount of time, like I'm really, really, really good at math. So it wasn't long after I got there that it got to the point I was sort of helping teach math. And so like they could see right away, like, oh, he probably really doesn't need these classes. And then after I took the assessments, they said, they all basically said that I was college level with those topics. But I didn't have any paperwork saying that that was the case. It was just, factually accurate stuff. Nice dodge. Nice dodge! I wonder, is there anything else that the spear is capable of doing that doesn't suck? I think that you can just hold this down and constantly swing. I'm gonna try that. That move sucks a bunch. I wonder if there's something else I can do with Bracing Breeze that's actually useful. Oh yeah, that shit. For real, dude, I understand that. I've told you about, maybe even shown you my giant tote full of game controllers, right? And I work on those every chance that I get, but realistically, I don't have the correct environment to do that. Our whole apartment is carpeted, which is, you don't typically want to open up electronics on carpet because I need to tell you this shit because of static electricity, and you might brick your shit. But man, I gotta work on my stuff. I don't got anywhere else to do it, and I'm not gonna do it in the kitchen. The kitchen isn't necessarily any better than what I have here, one thing I definitely do miss about us living in Texas is that it's not hard to find a place that is a reasonable price that has a whole lot of space. But man, here I'm 100% with you. I don't have I don't have a tabletop to work on. I don't even have proper lighting. I'll pick up the webcam and show you. There's not a fucking, like, light on the ceiling in here at all. Anywhere. The only light that I have in this room, I guess there's a light in the closet over there in that door, and we have a lamp over here in the corner. So even if I wanted to work on electronics in here, I would have to put, like, a baller light source in here to do it. It's, shitty. Wait, you know what? I don't think that you get any elemental aspects from that kick anyway. I need to check that. You really don't. I did not think he was going to get that out in time. Point. You know what, we're going to try that, actually. Arcana of the Dead. Increases the damage and key damage dealt by certain active skills by 5%. In exchange, any elemental effects of these skills will be lost. So, Arcana of the Dead makes sense on attacks where there is no elemental effect to be had. So, like on the sword kick, probably as well. I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that. Ah, fuckity. You know what? I never came out here. Speaking of which, going back to the controllers thing, I have a PlayStation 2 controller. By the way, the internals of PS2 controllers are kind of variable, depending on what lot number you get. They could be the exact same model number, so SEHP. I think it's SEHP? SEPH. This is a 10,010. Most of the PlayStation 2 controllers are 10,010s, but that doesn't necessarily mean the internals are going to look the same. I have one that's got, like, and see, I don't know what the proper wording is for this, but basically it has that clear plastic membrane that has, like, copper veins going through it, essentially. And one of those lines has, like, a gap in it. It has, like, a break in the line, so because of that, there's like a whole string of like parts of the controller. Like I think it's the D-pad, the left stick, and a couple of other buttons just have no continuity whatsoever. And I don't have the means to fuck around with that plastic membrane. Trying to get... Oh. Dude, yeah, if you could find, like, an old school RC car. Like, people that revive old electronics are the shit. Straight up. Like, honestly, people that do that with, like, old video game stuff, it's always, I mean, like, I know of somebody that, like, he ended up with an NES controller, and the NES controller was fucked. It was just completely annihilated. And instead of just saying, well, you know, I guess this one's dead, he decided he was going to create completely new internals for it. So, like, the shell of controller and the plug and the port and all that are still the original thing, but, like, just about all of the circuitry is brand new. Like, people that are that, like, tenacious about restoring old electronics, bruh, those people are fucking heroes. Not that I care all that much about the NES, but, like, you know, when you consider that older video games in particular, once they stop making them, there is only so many of those that are ever going to exist. So people that are doing everything that they can to revive the ones that are around, that's hot. Right, it, like, is like remote control, like RC cars and shit like that, like, is that even like a difficult thing to put together, really? Like, not like putting away like what the RC functions are meant to go to, but like having a wireless device send frequencies to another thing to execute functions, is that even all that complicated, really? You'd probably have an awful lot of fun working on pinball machines. Well, maybe not Jersey Jack. Jersey Jack pinball machines are a pain in the dick to work on. And then, I may have told you about this before, but Williams pinball machines, there is like this small era where they decided in their infinite wisdom that they were going to use gray as the sheath for every wire in the table. So imagine if you could, there's a specific spot in the table where this particular bumper has no power continuity, and you don't really know why, so you have to get out this fucking like bundle of like a couple hundred wires, and you have to find the specific gray wire in the sea of gray wires and then you have to unbundle that giant bundle, and then you have to track that gray wire all the way down to wherever their power continuity is. And then you need to find the break in between those 2 points, repair that, and then you have to... it's fucking horrible. At least, like, in the other tables, right, they've got, like, different colors for different things, and you can follow the bright orange wire really easily. Pain in the ass. Nice dash. Yeah, that was just a bad karaoke cast. Okay, I don't hate this. It's a bit wonky, but we've certainly used worse. Mine computer made a click sound. Okay, and the other one was This one appears to come up way too often. Axe hammer, we can do that shit. With 587. Anyways, Viv is right now applying to 2 different locations. One of them is like more of a general garage, because right now she's working in a garage at a dealership, which is definitely the worst. The idea of a general garage, though, is like at a dealership, you're pretty much guaranteed to work on specific things over and over. And she's less likely to deal with stuff like warranty, and warranty jobs are the worst. Because, like, due to the fact that those are dealt with through, like, the manufacturer itself, like, they don't pay nearly as well for the technician. And, like, apparently, that's become even worse lately. And, like, there's a whole lot of, like the people that she works for are just, they're fucking terrible, terrible people. Oh. But the other place that she's considering working for is for the local transit system, working on the trains, which I think sounds super curious, very, very interesting, especially since I don't know, maybe this is my ignorance when it comes to, like, engineering of various kinds. I don't see how that overlaps with the information that she knows. But it would be interesting. She certainly wouldn't ever have a lack of work. Honestly, though, at the moment we're mostly hoping she gets hired at that general garage, because that is a lot closer to the kind of stuff that she's familiar with, and it seems like a pretty nice place to work. I think I could get this in. I was gonna say I think I can get that in and then also pound the ground, but whatever. Oh, that's what that sound was. I was wondering, I was like, what the hell? Nice. You're a bit late to the party, buddy. I forgot how fast he is capable of recovering if you hit him after he's knocked down. Almost immediately. What? I was specifically aiming that for a particular part of that skill that I was certain was where the super armor was. Apparently, I was wrong. What? What? I'm sorry, what? That was new? Yo, what's up, Keone? How's it going? You know, the usual. Just playing me some action games, because that's what I do. Dude, some of that practice was really hot. I'm getting better and better at controlling right roundhouse strats. And the better I get at it, the more convinced I become that the right roundhouse is actually overpowered as hell. It's like, especially on hard mode, so like, the way that the game works is it has like a self-adjusting difficulty. On normal mode, you start off on level 1, and as you play, like, as you do good, right? As you play well, when you land counter hits, when you do juggles, when you duck under attacks, when you do good, the level goes up. When the level goes up, the game becomes harder. It doesn't make you stronger. But you get better rewards for enemy kills at higher levels. On level die, enemies are way faster, they're a lot more aggro. Like, it even controls how many enemies can be aggressive at once. Like, it's a pretty involved system. But, like, one of the key things about difficulty at the higher levels is that more enemies aggro at the same time, but with right roundhouse strats, man, you can really keep multiple enemies at bay. It's super dumb that it's possible to do what it's possible to do. How about some bird-on-bird violence? That was unfortunate, but not that unfortunate. See, I think we were talking about this yesterday. Look at this key recovery that it's gonna do. Half. Boom. Now it's just like basically do Tararemoke and then hit it one more time. Are you stuck? Okay. Now imagine if this right here was happening in the depths, right? It would literally just be doing what I'm doing right here for like 20 fucking minutes. There'd be nothing interesting about the combat at all. Now, there's already nothing interesting about this combat. Like, this fight is already over. Now, the more max key damage that you do, the less max key damage yokai can recover over time. And this is true about any yokai. Boss, normal enemy, doesn't matter. Let's say I was to, like, equip a level 1 weapon and do, like, the least possible damage forever and ever. Literally any yokai is going to get to a point to where they can only recover half of their max key. And once they're at that point, you can bully the shit out of them endlessly. Now, like, the one theoretically yokai boss that I can think of where that kind of strategy doesn't pay off at all is Benkei. Benkei's max key recovery is like 99%. So even if you do get to a point to where you've been able to grapple him a few times, his, like, it would take an incredibly long fight in order to get him to the point to where he's only recovering half of his max key. Like, I don't think that that fight will ever last that long. One of you is gonna die first. And if it's taking that long, you're probably gonna die first. Anyways, it's spear time on floor 94. Now, obviously, none of that, like, applies to human enemies, but human enemies are usually loopable in a completely different way, with the exception of one. I think that we discussed her yesterday. And I can never remember her fucking name. Yorimitsu. That one. She is an annoying prick. I really, really, really do not like her. I fucking hate that guy. Fire. Fire is pretty good at fucking his shit up. Poison is theoretically also good against him. Like, look, the worst thing about... I never remember his proper name either. I just call him Turtle Dickhead. But, like... The worst thing about him is that his rules are sort of in between human and yokai, and since it's neither fully human nor fully yokai, I really don't understand how he behaves all that well. And that makes fighting him at all just really, really, really irritating. But, I mean, like, mostly, yeah, I'd just say, like, Fire. Fire eats his shit up. You start burning him, you're gonna be surprised. Like, you're gonna think, like, wow, the fight's already over. What? cumulative damage anima bonus is outrageous, and I love it. Like, you don't even need to use it optimally, and it's just fucking good. It's even better when they give you a fucking soul core at the end. God damn it. Oh, whoops. What? Okay. Whoa, buddy, come on now. What? That didn't stagger you. I don't know why. You know, I really wish I could get, like, an actual track listing for that game and, like, know who actually made what song. Instead of having to list every composer the game has on all the tracks that I have from it. It's a lot. Yep, there's fire out there. I also find it, like, going back to the subject of that guy, I also find it just really irritating fighting Kusa enemies in general, especially since for whatever reason in this particular game, this was not true in Nioh 1, but in Nioh 2, for whatever reason, the first swing from Kusa mid is treated like an action skill. Like, for the purpose of, like, it can't be parried. It's real dumb. How are the hidden skills for the spear? I hate triple threat. I think it's called triple threat. Yeah. This attack, I see other people use it a lot. I personally think it's garbage. Because, like, your execution needs to be on point to do less damage than you would have done if you had just done 2 of these. I don't remember what the other skills are. Okay. However, the spear is capable of getting a double backstab on these. 1. Oh, God, unless I fuck it up a bunch. That would be my second time to fuck it up today. The sword can do that, hatchets can do that, dual sword can do that, although dual sword's really... dual sword doesn't like to do it, but it's theoretically possible. Sometimes I get it. Okay, that was a really stupid thing to do. I thought... For some reason, I thought I was gonna run under it. Note to self, that's not how this works. Oh, well. I mean, like, you know, in order to find new techniques, you have to be willing to fail a bunch. Because who knows, what if it had worked, right? What if I had just, like, ducked under it while charging and everything had turned out just fine? It could have. I see. This worked last time, I'll just do it again. Nope, that didn't work at all. Okay. I don't remember what is the other. Is Bracing Breeze, is that a hidden skill for Spear? I've had the hidden skills for so long that I genuinely don't remember which ones are and are not hidden skills. Have some bird. That was way too early. I did not fight. Oh, that Oboro Gudama worth a shit. What an absolute shit show. Complete disaster. Fatal Thrust is too good. It's like, regardless of the size of the enemy, Fatal Thrust pushes the enemy back. And in some cases, it'll actually disrupt the hitbox of said enemies. That's real weird that he didn't go down right there, but whatever. I'm trying to think of any hidden skills like that off the top of my head are just objectively good skills in general. Like, Isn't a Drop is obvious. Isn't a Drop is busted as fuck. But once I get past that, the sword's got some okay stuff, like Kodama Sword Dance. But honestly, Kodama Sword Dance, I would argue, is just an extended Sword of Discernment where you have less control over the attack once it's started. Because Sword of Discernment's real quick. And if you're good with it, you can pop off with it over and over and over really fast. And since it's real quick, you can get back to moving around if you need to. And then you've got what? Here, we can go through those skills real quick. Like, Sword of Discernment, you get that 1-2 pop, and then you're back to being able to move however the hell you like. Whereas, like, Kodama Sword Dance does both key damage and damage, which is... It's nice, but, like, as long as that attack is... If you find, like, if you realize just after inputting it that maybe this wasn't the best time to input it, your only option really is to cancel it with like a yokai input, either by using a soul core or by using your guardian spirit. And depending on what options you have available to you in those regards, that might also be disastrous. Severing Spin is interesting. The hitboxes on this, basically, it's the same kind of hitbox that Sword Key has, except it's larger and there's 3 of them. Its key damage isn't as useful as Sword Key. Its damage isn't particularly impressive. I guess you could theoretically say it would be an okay attack to use in a group as they're approaching, but arguably Sword Key is already that, and potentially a better option. I suppose the one interesting thing about this particular skill is that just like Sword Key, it has super armor while you're using it, no matter what level of toughness you have. But I don't know, I can't really think of a time when this would be more useful than Sword Key, and Sword Key is one of the earliest attacks that you'll get with the sword. True and Through is genuinely 100% a good hidden skill. It's worth noting that this can be parried. Just like it's not even considered an active skill as far as parries are concerned. It is just a normal attack. Let's see, what else does... I feel like Sword Key, I feel like the sword has something else. Reverse Impact. Reverse Impact is kind of weird in that, it's useful when you've knocked an enemy down and you don't... if you've knocked an enemy on the ground and you don't intend to do the normal grapple, this is kind of nice. But its hitbox is way smaller than it looks like it would be, and just about every time that you use this, you should cancel out the recovery frames at the end with something. So if you haven't paired this with something like the Phantom Guardian Spirit or some kind of soul core that you can pop and get back to moving really quickly, then this is just a bad idea in general. Let's see, I don't remember. I think that might be it. I genuinely am not even sure what the purpose of this is. Sure, you get your attack strength increased, but if you don't, actually need the parry in order to do... if you don't actually need a parry to take down your opponent, why would you bother parrying to begin with? Anyways... But yeah, I don't know. Most of the hidden skills really do, in my opinion, fall flat in terms of actually being useful. Shit, son. That was just bad all over. This guy is just being an asshole. Like, I mean, I guess the main question that you should ask every time that you're about to assess a hidden skill is, does this give me something I do not already have? And usually the answer is no. Except for isn't a drop. Isn't a drop's fucking bonkers. Is she not burning? What? You can tell that I'm really, really afraid of the fire. Fire's scary. These are all my opinions, though. Like, you know, nothing that I'm saying here is an objective fact. These are just the ways that I see the attacks. I don't personally find that a lot of the hidden skills were all that worth getting. I know that a lot of people really, really believe in the fire attack that you get from Ren. It's okay. There are some attacks in this game, though, that I would argue are just white-hot garbage, as just, like, a point of fact. Like, this fucking thing. I've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to find any reason to use this. Like, any scenario in which that attack isn't shit. I have yet to find a scenario in which that attack isn't garbage. Sir. Bullshit? Did he genuinely just ignore my parry? Hold on. Because he's not supposed to be able to do that. Fuck off. Okay. Yeah, that's not supposed to be able to just ignore a parry. Whatever, bro. Super annoying. Bro, it's very, very warm in here. This is probably gonna be a great day for bike riding. Once I'm done streaming here, I'm gonna go bike ride, I think. 94 spear. Ooh, hell yeah. It's sword time. But I'm gonna step away and take a short break first. Of course not. What's going on, Jess? Anyways, I'll be back. What the hell? Oh my god, what the hell? Huh. Okay. Arena is set in stone. Bruh! That was so good. Why did I not get hit by that? What the hell? Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, Jesus. He's almost here. Yo, I deserve a medal for all of that. What the fuck? Alright, cool. Time's cleared, too. Really? As toasty as a sunbish in here. I'm also happier since I stopped being involved with speedrun.com. Well, shit dicks. Oof. 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 Big oof. Okay, cool. God damn it. He was very, very certain that he did not want to stay down. What do I have here? I do want to try something. We'll do Kadama Sword Dance on high stance only and see what's up. Okay, that might actually be very, very useful. And nice aim. Yeah, it's definitely more useful than I give it credit for, but at the same time, it is a niche use case. Let's see, hold on. My god, dude. Yeah, and, like, particularly when it came to, like, being a mod for God Hand, is just having to keep all of the fucking frauds at bay. It's just so much work, and it's a thankless thing to do. Nobody, like, for one thing, the only people that are aware that there's a cop on the beat are the people that are getting caught. Nobody that isn't getting caught is aware of what's going on. So you don't have people that are like, yo, man, thanks for all the work that you're doing to keep this on the up and up, because nobody knows that that's happening. So literally all it can do is, like, bring me loads and loads of drama and angst. And, like, once it got to the point where it's like, look, Roni doesn't know this, but we knew that he was a fraud a long, long time ago, but there's, like, there's things that are There's different kinds of proof in a speed game. There's stuff that's easy to explain to others, and then there's stuff that's basically impossible to explain to others. So only recently has there been evidence that's like, any jackass that has any sense in their head whatsoever can look at what I'm saying and look at the evidence side by side and being like, yeah, that doesn't look right. But, like, especially here recently, I had to confront the fact that the people that don't want to see ain't gonna see it. They'll look at it and be like, "You are full of shit." I don't see anything wrong here at all. And like, it's just not worth it. It's not fucking worth it. Whoops. Hello? Like, I just try to remind people these days, like, the God of Hand leaderboard is a lost cause. You should trust just about nothing on it. Don't think about it for even a moment. It's not worth it. But yeah, man, it's 74 degrees outside, presumably. It explains why it's actually toasty in here for once. Ooh. Floor 82 with this. You know, I haven't done paralysis strats in a long time, and do I want to do that? Nah, I'm not gonna bother with that right now. Maybe at some point I'll grind another Kidyoki, like a blue core for it, with cumulative damage bonus, but I don't want to mess with it right now. What was it? Hold on, I fucked up. I don't remember if it was armor or weapons today. Weapons. Not that it matters much. I don't even know why I bother, but whatever. Let's go ahead and put away all of this Emerita. And build my, let's see, that's 6 digits, 9, 12, 13 digits worth of Emerita. Good stuff. Yeah, it's almost 2 trillion. Not that there's any purpose to it, I don't have a reason for it anymore. Which is why it's just building up on my Solar ingot. Why did I think it was gonna be this map? What is he swinging at? What are you doing, dude? Bonk. Please let me pick up the thing. I probably don't need the thing, but I want the thing. What's up, buddy? Purple sweet. Well, that's shitty. Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck around with that. Suiki, however, will chase me. I don't know how far that Snack Neck is prepared to chase me. Not that far, it seems. What? Like I said, I've got a very, particularly with the fists, I've got a very tank that shit and deal the damage mindset. Cut it out, bruh. This is an intense roll on this map, dude. We had our ninja homie, we had a purple Sawiki, now we have a purple Kirioki. I mean, the depths is, in my opinion, it's just something that you do for the challenge of it. But is there like a reward for it? Not really. But I mean, like, even if there was, I kind of would see that reward as being the same kind. Like think about like just about any RPG that has like an optional super boss, right? What value would, like, literally what could you give to the player for beating the hardest boss in the game that would matter? Because, like, are you gonna give me like an epic weapon? But why? I just killed the hardest thing in the game. What would be the purpose? What would the best weapon in the game be used for at that point? So yeah, like depths is just like the challenge. That's all it is. It's so that you can feel accomplished. However, early depths does have a point because there are, I think there's 2, maybe there's 3. There's at least 2 different graces that are only found in the depths. Shinasehiko is one of them. Oyamasu, I think, is the other one. Oyamasu is the one that just gives you a ridiculously huge amount of HP. Like, ridiculously huge. Now I think probably the answer I just gave would be considered blasphemy by a lot of Nioh players. Like, what do you mean? Of course it's worth doing the deaths. But, like, it really depends on what you want from the game. Like, some people would say it's not worth doing, like, Dream of the Strong. Like, you've already beaten the game, well, why would you want to do more? I don't agree with that, but I could see that mindset. Oh wow. I did not expect that to kill. Wait, I've only gotten 2? Hold on, where's the other one? Did I leave the one down where the Kirioki was? I think I did. Alright. Yeah, it's not that one. Wow, I'm dumb. Well, like I said, in my case, I ended up doing the depths offline, and then I decided not to bother. It's like, it's dumb. At first, I was like, I'll just do the depths while I'm waiting on other things to happen in my life. And, because, like, you know, I usually have projects going on that I can't really stream during, so I just did the depths while I was waiting for a video edit to process or some shit. And then after that, like, I keep backups of all my save files, so after that I was like, I don't know, I should probably have streamed that. And then I rolled my file back, and then I never ended up streaming it. So, on this file, where we're currently at, like, depths 9 or whatever, I don't remember. And it's just because I just don't care. Could you fucking stop, dude? It's also worth noting the depths, like, and I'm sure that this is on purpose. It's like, they were like, huh, what's the most annoying bosses that we have? Like, just the most irritating ones. Not even necessarily the most challenging ones. The ones that suck the most. And then they just spam those. Like that dumb bitch. I loathe Tate Iboshi. I love her. He's just fucking just such an unfun boss. Like, I've lived in a house smaller than Tateyuboshi, and yet she jumps around like a fucking twat constantly. How was the Abyss in Nioh 1? Honestly, all of the Abyss in Nioh 1, if memory serves, was about as pointless as the depths are in this one. Like, I mean, again, as far as I could tell, it was just for the challenge of it, so that you could feel like a big badass boss man when you know, went really deep into it and did well. I mean, it's possible that there was something else to it that I don't know about, but, like, I didn't care about Elden Ring from the start, so I've never played it. Elden Ring is just basically Dark Souls, except, oh hey, you have a horse. And Dark Souls is just bland. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the Sweet Scent of Plums with Kusa. Notice that dude got hit and totally ignored the fact that his key got zeroed out. Guys, y'all have got to stop. What the fuck? Again, he just waltzed right through my attack. Dude, this is really, really irritating. Eat shit, dude. Cheating bastard. Good lord. That dude with the Odachi just did not even, like, walked right through this. Didn't give a fuck that it was there at all. What the hell? Cool. You know what, just stop existing, dude. Wow, the game is really struggling right now. As is my patience. Okay. I probably should have used some Dragon Dance. Oh my god, dude. Fuck off! Bro, I go to parry that and it just magically doesn't hit me so that I don't parry it. Alright. Yeah, this is starting to suck a bunch. At the very least, we're just about done with dealing with human enemies on this map. Hmm. Well, she just totally fucked herself. I should maybe think about giving Blood Rain Betrayal a shot again at some point. It felt weird to play it. And again, like every Blood Rain game plays completely differently. It's like they're not even part of the same series. Like the first game is basically a shitty third-person shooter. The second game, well, okay. So the first one is basically a shitty third-person shooter with some platforming and melee elements. The second game is mostly an action hack-and-slash platformer that theoretically has guns. And then Blood Rain Betrayal is a 2D beat-em-up. Oh, okay. Well, this is going real well, isn't it? You're right, that was a good one. Alright, this time he's still dealing with the Yasha. Wait, what? Is this normal? I don't feel like I remember that last Bakugane and Yasha showing up normally. Whatever. That was just plain bad. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go because I'm gonna go on a bike ride because apparently it's a great day for doing that. First things first, I need to figure out where I'm gonna bike ride to. Plus, if anything was a clear indicator that I had, like, this was a good time to leave because that last mission sucked. Like, everything about my performance right there was bad. The game was misbehaving. I was not reacting very good to it. Whatever shit happens. Is anybody alive? This guy is live. Anyways, I'm gonna hang out with the Cosmic while I plan my day. Y'all have a good one. Menace me, but it's not like anything in this stage was particularly dangerous to me anyway. Where are you going? No, really, what in the hell were you doing? Bruh. What the fuck was that? Okay. Custom playlists, really? Yeah, that's fair. What? What? I wasn't in though. I was out. I did the there. I really, 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 really wish I'd been paying attention just now. Okay. Okay.